After a devastating election in 2024, the Democrat Party has effectively collapsed. Seen some of the worst polling in the history of the party with no leader has created a vacuum. And here in New York, a communist that you've heard of has seized on that. Zohran Mamdani has received more votes than any primary candidate in New York history. Think about that, and then think about what he's saying to get those votes and how terrifying that is. And now Mamdani has a fairly mainstream backer from the U.S. Senate. You would think that Liz Warren is a bit too old to be duped by a smooth-talking, silver spoon champagne socialist with no life experience whatsoever, and you'd be wrong. Here's Warren this week telling reporters that the Democrat Party should be all in on socialism.
Progressive social, is this what the party should look like?
Yes.
Democratic Party moving forward?
You bet. The Democratic Party needs to stand up and be clear. We are the party that fights for affordability for working families. That means child care, that means housing, it means health care. It means making this country work better for the working people who make this country work.
All right, last question.
I get a little excited about this.
You probably caught a glimpse of that yesterday. It's really, though, important to talk about how big of a deal this is. Watching what's happening right now with the Democrat Party. The country should move towards socialism, says a U.S. senator, as affordability issues have decimated our quality of life. And they have. We shouldn't be surprised to see Democrats moving toward this lane. It's pretty obvious that's where the party would go now that a starter home in this country costs $400,000 at 7%. And after a couple years of heavy inflation has decimated your paycheck, has decimated our wages. Americans are broke, and we are heavily in debt. Look at how much credit card debt this country is carrying right now. It is a staggering number. Many Americans, especially the younger, are completely disillusioned with our system. Because you can't just go buy a house when you got that first job. When you're making 60, 70 grand a year, you're not buying a house anymore. You're not living the American dream. They're renting. They're perpetually renting. They feel like they're going to have to rent forever. They're never going to be fully engaged in the system. They're frustrated. They don't like this. And people like Liz Warren and Bernie Sanders and Zohran Mamdani have an excuse that sounds really, really good to these people. And it is a huge liability for the country. Here was Warren on CNBC demanding higher taxes on the rich to fund more free goodies for the financially strapped in New York.
What Zohran is saying is, I want people to be able to afford to live in New York City. That's what keeps it a vibrant city. That's what makes people want to live
Nobody
here.
disagrees with that, Senator, but raising taxes in order to do it? Why is that the answer?
Oh, dear. Are you worried that billionaires are going to go hungry?
No, I'm worried that they're going to leave and spend their money elsewhere.
Arrogant she sounds as she gets spanked on CNBC. At her age, she somehow doesn't understand that society cannot tax its way to prosperity. It's only been tried about 1 million times. From 2017 to 22, 125,000 wealthy New Yorkers just vanished. They took $14 billion in city revenue with them. Here in New York, the evil 1% pay for 40% of the bills. Think about that. That's as progressive as it can possibly get, and they get nothing but vilified in return. 1% paying 41% of all the bills in the state. The hard truth, the rich are actually, what they really are the scapegoats for people like Liz Warren. The scapegoats for the political class. If you want to know why quality of life and affordability are being decimated, look no further than big government politicians who spend their careers creating entitlement and welfare programs to tether as many Americans as possible to dependency on the government. Devaluing our currency with tremendous debt to grow the government like a massive tumor, and we all get less, the government gets bigger. And as our problems get worse from what they have done, they go on CNBC and scream, "Eat the rich," knowing full well that we could devour the entire billionaire class and maybe fund the government for about 8 weeks. They know all this, but it works politically. Most of Liz Warren's colleagues realize just how toxic this move could be for the party if they continue down this path. Cory Booker recently had to fight off CNN that was looking for an endorsement for Mamdani. Take a look.
This is not a left-right issue. It really isn't. It is an authoritarian versus people who want pragmatic government that makes a difference in the lives of American people. I have learned a long time ago, let New York politics be New York politics. We got enough challenges in Jersey.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt tonight on Newsmax.